I will make it very clear from the onset though, I'm not here to promote the product in terms of a selling product. I'm here to promote just improve student outcomes. And that's the point that I come from in regard to this. Obviously, when we looked at our NAPLAN data across the school, numeracy was an issue for us, and it continued to be an issue. We've trialled a number of programs, and we use a fairly explicit type of instruction in terms of effective pedagogies in the way that we deliver, and none of the models fitted into what we were trying to do in terms of what the teachers needed to do and where we needed to take the students. The other issue we had with a number of the programs is they were aimed fairly low. Prime Maths provided the foundation for us to be able to not just accelerate our kids, but to provide them with a really good scaffold at the start of the year in terms of their early years. Last year we trialled across 6 classrooms. What we found within 1 semester of using that program is the results from those kids were considerably better, particularly in our junior grades, than they were for those kids that weren't using the program. If you fall back on the NAPLAN, very few questions in NAPLAN, if any at all, are actually straight algorithms. You never see 400 times 600 or 400 plus 6. You might see there's 28 sheep in this paddock, there's 48 sheep in this paddock, we've got 4 paddocks with this amount, how many sheep have we got all together? So the kids have to do fairly complex problem solving. When you look at the bar method of problem solving is fantastic in assisting kids or giving kids the structure and the scaffold to enable them to do what I've just described as a problem. Now, for us, jumping back to our trial, we found issues initially with our year 6s and our year 4s, only in that the concepts that these kids were being exposed to, they didn't have the pre-grounding, all right? Our year 1s flew with it. Once the year 1s grasp the basic concept, and if you look through Prime, and again, another thing that I love about Prime is it goes pictorial, concrete, pictorial, abstract. Those 3 structures are across, in fact, even in the senior levels, the whole way across. That's what we espouse at the school as well. Give the kids the concrete material, allow them to use the pictorial, and then we move to abstract. But most of our teachers often went concrete, abstract, and there was missing that link in between. So coming back to our trial, our year 1s flew with it because it was the ground level for the program. Our year 4s did well, struggled with it a bit because they were missing the year 1, 2 and 3 concepts. Our year 6s had the hardest time. And I'll tell you who had a harder time than the kids was actually the teachers. This year, after the trial, all the teachers, even though the senior teachers struggled with it, said, yeah, we need to do this program, it'll be beneficial. I should say we've only used the program for 1 or half a year prior to the NAPLAN anyway. We've already seen a jump in the NAPLAN results from those kids that are doing it, and it's actually our top end kids that have made the biggest jump. Our bottom end kids are creeping, but our top end kids seem to have jumped 2 or 3 bands from being exposed to those concepts. Prime is our concept development. The scope and the sequence is outstanding. That's one of the things we look for when we look for programs. That's another thing that drew us to Prime, was that it's actually scope and sequenced. So my teachers don't have to plan in regard to what they're doing next. It's there for them, and if they, which they've got access to, if they look at all the scope and sequences, they can see reason to why certain concepts are done at certain times. This has been heavily researched. This isn't a Singapore maths program. This is Singapore going, we've looked all over the world and we've picked the eyes out of the best maths programs in the world, and we've created a maths program. Everyone goes, oh, it's a Singapore maths. It's not Singapore maths. We've just looked at everything and gone, that's outstanding, that's outstanding, that's outstanding. This is how maths should be taught. And guess what? Their maths results are through the roof. Guess what? We've taken it on, and our maths results are improving already, and particularly those kids that were exposed to it are already outperforming. It's the same teacher, same maths, nothing's changed, same kid, suddenly the results are through. And even our weaker kids in the trial classes were stronger than our weaker kids in the non-trial classes. So all the data sets that we've got are telling us the same thing. It's working.